Good afternoon, family. It's Tay, the local trucker. Just came back to the yard, just got off my route. Had about 860 cases a day, drove 172 miles. Not too bad, only 8 stops. Just finished parking Optimus Prime and doing the post trip. Now I'm sitting here, just want to chop it up with you guys. Hey, I just want to give a quick little shout out, man, to all my new subscribers that I've gained over the week and a half of, starting this channel. I really appreciate you guys tapping in and clicking on the videos, and I hope that I continue to bring some type of value with my thoughts and opinions, and hopefully help you with your decision making on whether you want to do food service or any other type of trucking job. If you like what you hear today or find any value in this content, please consider hitting the like and subscribe button and dropping a comment down in the comment section below. But anyway, I'm not going to take too much of you guys' time. I just want to talk about some pros and cons of food service. And is it really worth it being out here doing this type of back-breaking work? So I think one of the pros and one of the main pros that, most people really want to know about when it comes to food service is the money.
Show me the money.
I think it's a huge pro for me personally because it's changed me and my family's lives completely. I went from being unemployed to making a little over 6 figures coming on the food service after I got my CDLs. But a con to that kind of money is the physicality and the labor intensity that you're going to be enduring in order to make that money.
Oh, I'm hurt. Oh, my neck, my back, my neck and my back. Oh, I want 150,000.
Here at US Foods, for example, we do more ramping, way more than we do any lift gates. I have a pallet drop every morning, but after that pallet drop, I'm still running all my cases down the ramp. And that's a lot of wear and tear on the knees, a lot of wear and tear on the back, lifting up those cases, digging through those pallets. But for me, as long as I'm stretching and getting a good intake of hydration and minding what I eat per se, or trying to, I think that I can take some of the weight off of my body and find balances in my stackings and the stacks that I build to have myself here for the long haul. So in reality, the money is well worth its weight in gold for what you have to do for it. And I'm okay with that. Another pro is the schedule. And with that is I don't work any nights and I don't work any weekends.
I'm free.
The only time I've ever worked a Saturday here is if I was finishing up a route that wasn't done from another driver on Friday. And doing that route, I got paid what we call average hourly rate. So it's almost like double, depending on what your average hourly rate is. For 6, 7, 8 hours, you can go and make another $400 or $500 on a Saturday to be added to your weekly check. I think that's totally worth it because you can kind of start a little later in the morning, go get it done, and still have the rest of your evening and afternoon as well as night back at home with your family. But a con to that schedule is sometimes you get inadequate sleep, because you have a staggered start time or dispatch time most mornings. I dispatch at 4 o'clock every morning, but we have drivers who dispatch at different times every day. So the amount of sleep you can get can be distorted based on what time you're starting. Also, a con to that schedule as well is that the clock works against you when you work in food service. So you have a 14-hour clock, as we all know, 11 hours of driving time. And once you go on duty, that time is ticking. You don't have that same luxury as an OTR driver or a regional driver who can just pull up to a rest area truck stop and say, I got, 2 days before my load has to be there, I can kind of slow roll it. Let me go ahead and take a 6-hour nap, or just let me go ahead and jump on my 10-hour reset and then, pump out 10 more hours of driving when I'm, feeling more up to snuff.
Did you have a nap today?
It don't work that way when you work in this food service game. You don't stop until those cases come off. And if you don't get all those cases off, you may potentially lay over or have to bring that route back and then finish up those 2 or 3 stops the next day. So that's a con to the schedule. I think another pro would be the rapport and the relationships you get to build out here. You know, I got a lot of customers, man, who like to feed me, like to just hold general conversation, even though my clock is ticking. And, you know, we get a comfortability about each other as far as knowing how they like me to deliver their things, how I like to be parked a certain way. And I think that rapport goes a long way in making your days a lot better. It's a lot more, how do I say, satisfying to know that you're actually satisfying and pleasing the customer with your work versus just bumping the dock and letting them unload you, or pulling up with a flatbed, unstrapping and letting them unload you and you're going about your business. You know, the human aspect of trucking is still involved in food service.
You're never going to use our company again? Great. That means I'll never have to talk to you again.
But a con to that also, I think, would be, in food service, a con would be parking itself. Sometimes you have to maneuver through some really tight parking lots, and depending on the times of day that you get there, the parking lot could be full, and you may have to park somewhere a lot further away than what you would like to, and have to take a much longer walk. And you might have some pedestrians, I should say, civilian drivers, who may get really upset with you, want to flip you off, even call the police on you. I've had that happen to me before, saying that you're blocking their way, even though there's 3 or 4 different entrances to a plaza, or that you shouldn't be there at this time of day, disrupting their inability to get to where they want to go. I think that's a con within itself. Another con would be low quality. Whew, low quality.
Oh my God.
I tell you, there are times, man, when you get your load and you got pallets tipped over, you got it loaded backwards, you got it loaded in the wrong area. Sometimes you have dry in the cooler, cooler in the dry. And it just makes you have to do some extra work throughout the day that you shouldn't have had to done in the first place. And then have you question whether or not it's worth it, or if you want to continue to do this job. A pro to that, though, there's a pro to having a not so quality load, is when you're forced to have to break some pallets down, you can then set yourself up to maneuver throughout the rest of your stops throughout the day because of that. So I always try to find a silver lining in having a late load or a poor quality load. And speaking of late load, the pro to a late load, before I get to the con portion, is that you get delay pay. So although none of us really like waiting on our loads, you get to add a little bit of cheese to the end of the check. But the con to that, or the con to that, is late loads just make your days longer. It puts you in a position to have to deal with those uncomfortable or unsettling parking situations. You got disgruntled customers who are wondering where you're at, why you were late.
So you ain't go to work?
See what time it is?
It's 8:30. Why you ain't at work?
Dang, I'm gonna have been working at 5 o'clock.
And it could just kind of ruin your mood or ruin your day when you are waiting on your load 1, 2, 3 hours when it should have been there at your actual dispatch time. That's all I got for you guys, man. I ain't really want to keep y'all too long. So again, let me know what y'all think, man. If there's any food service drivers out there, let me know what y'all think some pros and cons of food service are. If there's anybody looking to get into food service, tell me what you think. Tell me, do you think it's worth it after you heard these lists of pros and cons? Again, I hope you guys found some value in this content, in this video. Please consider liking and subscribing. And please know that I got more content coming. Thank y'all for tapping in with Taylor Local Trucker. I'll catch y'all on the next one.